up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back.
Okay, welcome back into the Colliders franchise, where the Batavia Colliders are 2-0 under rookie quarterback Ahmad Mark, who has 4 touchdowns and 1 interception on the year. So a much better start here in year 4 than last year in year 3, when we were rolling with Josiah Reed, the interception master. Anyway, we are taking on the Oaktown Beach Masters. So let's take a look at their roster.
Roster breakdown.
They've got Ryan Hall at quarterback, and he is backed up by Chris Martin of Coldplay. Halfback is Jabri Thomas, who is a 91 overall, one of the OG players from the Cupcake teams when I first started the franchise. Fullback, TJ Apostolopoulos, he's an 85 overall. They call him the Greek god, and he has no neck. Wide receivers are Maurice Maxwell, Joe Miller out of Nevada, Jalston Norton, Zach Blake, Braylon Grove, and this bum named Max Kennedy. More like Min Kennedy, am I right? All right, at tight end, Khalil Hunter is an 85 overall, and hopefully we hurt him because the backups are terrible. Offensive line, you've got a 90 at left tackle and Hunter Belton out of USC. A 91 at left guard with Zach Langford. Left side of that line is solid. Timothy Speakeasy is a center. He's an 86. Right guard, Rashard Doyle, an 83 overall. Looks like he's hurt, though. Right tackle, Jace Lombardo, and he's an 86 overall, so a really solid offensive line. Defensive line has Willie Carey and E.J. Green at left end. At right end, you have Shannon Reyes and Denolia Scott. In the middle, Jarrell Washington is an 88 overall, and Brett McGill, he's a rookie out of Southern Miss, is an 81 overall, but he's hurt, so I wonder if we'll see Bael Bryant. Looks like they've got 2 guys number 99, so Madden doing Madden things since the beginning. Leighton Cates is your left outside linebacker. He's a 91 overall. Middle linebacker, Fallow Foster, 88 overall. Rolled is Maurice Patterson out of Arizona. He's a 91 overall. And in the secondary, you've got Marco Hicks and Dante Riddick. Safeties are Donovan King and David Perkins. Kicker is Colton Dingwell, and the punter is LaRon Webb. So that is your roster for the Beachmasters. Well, we saw Ron Lewis go down with a fractured foot. Let's see what the damage is. Ron Lewis is expected to miss the next 5 weeks with that fractured foot. How about the Beachmasters? Dante Riddick will miss a week. Connor Campbell, 3 weeks with a dislocated hip, a center. Brett McGill, the rookie defensive tackle, has a herniated disc and will miss 4 weeks. Rashard Doyle, the right guard, will miss 7 weeks with a broken wrist. And Zach Blake, a wide receiver, tore his tricep and he is on IR. And that is your injury report. All right, it looks like I do not have the required number of tight ends with the Ron Lewis injury, so I'm probably going to have to cut someone in order to make room for someone else. All right, so I know I can get rid of Dondre Coleman for a 4th rounder, but unfortunately I can't do that before this week is over, and I need to clear a roster spot to get a tight end. So we're going to say goodbye to Robbie Ivy, who had 1 kick return for 15 yards for us. It was nice knowing you, buddy. And now we're going to pick up a tight end, and here's the bummer for me. My rules about free agents are that I have to either get rookies or kind of low-rated players that I've already had on my team before. So when we go to tight end, there's only one rookie. He's out of Missouri, and his name is Cody Bates, and he's a 53 overall. So I'm going to have to sign this bum until my tight end returns from injury. But I still think I might want to try to trade Dondre Coleman because I don't think I need 2 backup right tackles. So I'll try to do that after the week is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet and welcome your home team.
All right, welcome back to Proton Park for Game 3. The Batavia Colliders will be hosting the Oaktown Beachmasters. Both of these teams are undefeated at 3-0 as Andy Gary kicks it into the end zone for a touchback. All right, we've got Ryan Hall at quarterback, and behind him is Jabri Thomas. And Thomas is going to get the handoff first, and he's stopped after about 4. So now operating from the shotgun is Ryan Hall with Jalston Norton in motion. And here comes the blitz. That's a fumble. It wasn't even a blitz. It was the 2 defensive tackles in on the play. So here we have Leon Stewart applying the hit, causing the fumble, and then Alexander Williams recovering it. That's a 97 and a 91 on the interior of that line. And that's a touchdown to Gillespie. No, he dropped it in the end zone. Brad Gillespie, why are you dropping touchdown passes? So Mod Mark has good numbers on the season so far. This one goes out to Brian Harris for 5 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd and 5. So Mark to throw. He's got Montoya, and Montoya's got a first down to the goal line. Now one's coming back thanks to Brad Gillespie, the worst player in the world. Come on, backup tight end. Act like you've been here before. So 3rd and 10, and that's to Montoya, and he drops it in the end zone. So this is one of those games where I think the computer is working against me. 2 dropped passes in the end zone, a holding penalty bringing us back from 1st and goal. And yep, Gillespie and Montoya both credited with a drop. So only 3, this should have been 7. Hall hands off to Jabri Thomas, who's got running room, and he's going to pick up 9. Apostolopoulos back there playing fullback. Hall will throw for it. And then Cheeseborough, you gotta intercept that, man. Centennial Cheeseborough. That one's batted right, and another one. My goodness, we are getting so close, but seems like the game's out to get us. That's all I can say. All right, so let's see if we can engineer a drive here, get into the end zone, and put the curse behind us. Brian Harris with a nice run, about 9.5 yards there. And he's going to get the first. It's a little more running room so far than he's had in the first couple games. So here he is again. Not much that time, only about 2 yards as Willie Carey gets him down. And they'll go back to the well with Harris, and Harris has the first down. Already 34 yards on 5 carries. That's a nice start for Brian Harris. Mark to throw. He's going to go long. Coverage is there, though, and batted away. Intended for A.J. Muse. So Mark back to pass again. He's got Gillespie, who did not cover himself in glory on that first drive. So 3rd and 7. This one goes to the fullback, Jason Broussard. He's really starting to establish himself as an option in this offense, which is nice because the guy we had before, Glenn Palmer, was not. Harris gets decked, and now it's 3rd and 9, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the Colliders up 3-0, unable to convert that fumble recovery into a touchdown thanks to hijinks. He had him open for a second, but could not get it there soon enough, and they're going to have to kick a field goal again. Andy Gary just loops this one inside the left upright. Now it's 6-0, 2 field goals. Can the defense stop them again? Man in motion, that's Jalston Norton, and that's a delay handoff to Jabri Thomas. He's got 3 carries for 19 yards, so he's finding some room as well. Hall is going to run for it, and he runs into Sean Arnold, and that's going to be his first sack of the season. So we thought about benching him, and he finally comes through. He must have heard the call. So finally gets on the sack. He had 19 last year, so here in Game 3 he's got just 1. And they'll be punting it away. Phil Brown gets under it and has literally no blockers. Fake to Harris. Mark rolls out, and that one was dangerous. He did have some other options open for checkdowns, but Ahmad Mark is a rookie. He's going to hand off to Harris, and Harris is going to pick up another first down. He's already got 47 yards rushing. I think that's more than the last 2 games. So here he is again, and he falls forward onto the Colliders logo at midfield. 2nd and 5, and they'll go to him again, but this time he's stomped. So 3rd and 5 as Willie Carey gets his second first tackle, according to the stats. And there's Morgan Montoya on the slant. He's got 12 yards and the first down. And here we go to Harris with more room. Picks up 7. Harris again running through a couple arm tackles, and it's 3rd and 1. Mark's going to throw, and that one is batted down, bringing up 4th and 1, and we will see Andy Gary for the 3rd time. So now it's 9-0 on the golden leg of Andy Gary, but really, they want to be converting into touchdowns. I do not feel comfortable with this. Ryan Hall hucks it up. Coleman's there. So is the safety, and Preston Mahan and Coleman both miss. And this guy catches it in double coverage. That's Joe Miller. 2 guys there. He catches it over, both splits them, and runs for the touchdown. And just like that, 1 play, 80 yards. They're right back in it. So we've dominated the game, but we only lead by 2. Thanks to Joe Miller and an 80-yard touchdown catch. Where's that for us? All right, Phil Brown on the return. He's going to bring it back past the 20 to the 21. And Ahmad Mark has 1 minute, 8 seconds to go to work. Under pressure, he gets this one off to Gillespie, who's open deep. And now he's hurt. And so that tight end that we just had to sign, that's like a 53 overall, has to actually come into the game. Here's Montoya on the middle screen, and he's got a first down. And that is Bateson at tight end. And Mark is going to check it down to him. Welcome to the NFL, Bates. There's your one and only catch of your lifetime, probably. That one's going deep. He's got a man covering Morgan Montoya. So 3rd and 5. Mark dropping back. And he's got A.J. Muse on the corner route. They're going to say he caught that. It looked like he celebrated emphatically by throwing it out of bounds. And then Harris has another touchdown. That's 3 games, 3 touchdowns for Brian Harris. Let's see if he can keep that pace up. His fantasy owners will be delighted. So giving up the 80-yard bomb, they come right back. And Brian Harris scores a rushing touchdown, and they go back up by 9. 16-7 with 20 seconds left. And can they stop this offense? It looked like they were going to give up a run to Jabri Thomas, but he gets a ton of yards. 15 seconds left. They call a timeout. Ryan Hall to throw. He's got a man again. That's Jalston Norton. And now there's 10 seconds left. They're at midfield. They could possibly get into field goal range here. Oh, he's got a man deep. Norton again getting loose. Who's supposed to cover that guy? And they're able to get a field goal before halftime. Certainly hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. So a wild first half. Colliders lead 16-10. Even had we converted one of those field goals to a touchdown, I'd be a lot more comfortable. Let's see if we can go ahead and drive, get a touchdown, and put ourselves in a good position. Brown breaks one tackle, gets past the 20 to the 22. And Mark is going to hand to Harris. And he fumbles. It is picked up by Reyes. Oh, no. So one play later, we're losing. Brian Harris fumbles on the first play of the second half. And that's a legit fumble. Reyes scoops and scores. Unbelievable. I told you that this game is out to get us. We are supposed to lose this game. You ever feel like that with Madden? The computer is just engineering it so that they'll win. All right, this is Will Davis, the other running back, the backup to Brian Harris. He's out of Oklahoma, returning this kick. That's his first touch of the year. Mark back to pass, and he's got Morgan Montoya, who catches it. All right, 3 catches for 48 yards. Mark, a lot of drops. That's got his completion percentage down. And Harris gets 1 there, so 2nd and 9. Mark to throw for it again, and he's got Paldi who drops it. Another drop for this receiving core. So 3rd and 9. This time Mark's got Brandon McNair. That's close to the first down yardage. They're going to measure it, and he's got it. All right, new set of downs. Mark's looking to pass again, and he's going to fumble. And Willie Carey lands on it. So 2 drives, 2 fumbles. First the running back, now the quarterback. And that guy just leaps over the blocker. That was Brian Harris. Brian Harris just had the most feeble blocking attempt of all time. And that cost them possession of the ball. Maxwell in motion. And here's Jabri Thomas. And that is going to be Leon Stewart dragging him down after 6 yards. So again, game conspiring against me. 3rd and 2 as Travis Thomas gets on the stat sheet. Middle linebacker. He hasn't done much. I feel like Jaquez Price is usually more active. So we might want to switch back to him. But we do force a punt. And that one's going to go into the end zone. So down 1, can we get ourselves at least into field goal range to try to take the lead back? That one goes to the fullback, Jason Broussard, looking to be pretty reliable. And Mark has it to Harris. Harris has got room this time, so confidence in the running back despite the fumble. See if he can get it going. Not that time. He's losing 2 on that one. So 2nd and 12. Here comes the rush. That one's to Harris on the screen. And he picks up 9 of the 12. So 3rd and 3. Here's a handoff to Harris, and he can't get around the lineman who's pushed back into his lap. And that was the wrong button. I did not want to punt, but that was the button for the fake punt. I didn't want that either. So going for it, and Mark just sails it. He had his fullback open. So we burn a timeout, and we also don't convert the 4th down. And now Joe Miller has the catch. At least we killed him. Eat that, Joe Miller. Okay, here's a toss play, and he gets around the edge. Jabri Thomas is up to 62 yards. He's complaining about a 9-yard gain. Odd. All right, 2nd and 1. Here's Jabri Thomas again. Oh, look at Leon Stewart popping him in the middle. Leon Stewart's having a good game from his defensive tackle position. And Hall back to pass, and he is sacked. So Preston Mahan and Jamel Walker combined. Later you're going to see that no one gets credit for that sack. So I'm giving them both a half of a sack on that play. I mean, you see it yourself. Mahan gets them, and then Jamel Walker finishes them. The fact that if you get half sacks on this Madden game, they give no credit to anybody is annoying. I found the college game, NCAA 12, is better at crediting the half sacks, but sometimes doesn't count them properly in the total. So I don't know what it is about that. Adding decimals is hard, I guess. All right, 2nd and 6. Mark going long, and there's a man there to bat it down. He was going for Morgan Montoya. 3rd and 6. Let's see if he can complete it here. This one's out to the corner again for Montoya, but he cannot keep it in bounds. So they're going to have to punt this one away. Casey Sellers will boot it. And Ahmad Mark is so much better than Josiah Reed, but he still does not have incredible accuracy. I hope that's something that he can improve in the offseason. All right, a fake, and he's off and running. Alexander Williams chases him down. Ryan Hall gets 5 yards on the play. And now it's a handoff. Leon Stewart and Alexander Williams are there to tackle him. Jabri Thomas, that is. 3rd and 5. From the shotgun is Ryan Hall. And they got to get him. Oh, they almost had him, and now he's going to get the first down. Terrible. All right, so they give up the first down. There's only 2.5 minutes left. And Sean Arnold gets the tackle. Now we're really missing that timeout that we lost with the fake punt play. Thomas breaking one tackle. They're going to call their final timeout and hope to stop him here and take it to the 2-minute warning. Oh no. They're not going to stop him. He's going to run for the end zone. So with 2:18 left, they're going to go up 8 points. Kick is up and good. And again, this is a game that I feel like we're not meant to win, but let's see if we can come back here. So we have 2 minutes, 18 seconds, no timeouts. We need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and Brown isn't even going to make it to the 20. So we've got to go 86 yards. Mark back to throw, and he's going to toss this one over the middle to Brandon McNair, who muscles for a first down, and that is not what we need. We do not need McNair to be injured. So with the 2-minute warning coming up, they're going to try a run, and he gets about 6, but now they're going to have to be passing the whole way. Going deep for Morgan Montoya. He's got a step, and he's got it down to about the 12. A huge play for Morgan Montoya. Now they got to score here. Mark back to throw. He's got A.J. Muse, and he's in the end zone. And Ahmad Mark leads them all the way down the field. They need 2 points here. Mark to throw out to Pahodie, and does he catch it? He does. And they have tied the game. So we're not supposed to win, but we're too good. Ryan Hall throws this one out. Travis Thomas tackles him. Gain of 8. They've got all 3 timeouts. Lots of time. The Cheeseboro, that's the second time. You got to intercept that. Come on, Cheeseboro. That would have ended the game. There's another one. That was Javik O'Neal. Why are you guys not intercepting those? All right, we do get the ball with 1:10. And Brown, we just have to get into field goal range. All right, no timeouts though, so we got to be careful. Mark to throw. He's got Parodie deep. They're in field goal range now. All right, got to be careful. Ahmad Mark with 262 yards and a touchdown. We got to remember which button is the spike button. Okay, that one's checked down to Gillespie. 2nd and 3. No! Marco Hicks, why'd you throw that out route? A rookie mistake, and Hicks is going to go the distance. Come on! No one's there to get him. And with 27 seconds left, the rookie quarterback gives it away with the pick 6. We were in field goal range. All we had to do was kick it or throw it out of bounds or something. Spike the ball. That's terrible. And it's going to be challenging to drive the field 80 yards in 26 seconds. Make it 24 seconds with no timeouts. Mark to throw. He's got Gillespie over the middle. Gillespie breaks one tackle, but they've got to hurry. It's not like NCAA where the clock stops on the first down. Oh man, Mark, what are you doing back there? You should have been running. Okay, Mark One last shot. He's going for Montoya. Montoya's got it. He can't get out of bounds. They've got him. And that's going to end the game. So close. Mark ends up with 337 yards, but that'll be the Colliders' first loss of the season. It seemed like one of those that we were destined to lose. A fumble returned for a touchdown, another fumble, a pick six. And we had opportunities to intercept it, and we just kept missing them. So Ahmad Mark has a rating below 100 for the first time. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 337 yards. Brian Harris had the most yards of his season so far with 84. And then Morgan Montoya with a huge game, catching lots of passes way downtown. And again, even Cody Bates got a reception. So spreading the ball around seems to be the Ahmad Mark signature. He's like Drew Brees out there. Lots of drops, though. Parodi was the latest. The first two, Gillespie and Montoya, were drops in the end zone, which hurts a lot. All right, Leon Stewart with a good game. Mahan and Wright both with 6 tackles. That's not what you want in the secondary, though. Sean Arnold finally gets on the board with a sack. Leon Stewart had a sack, forced a fumble, too. No interceptions. Cheesebro, both pass defenses should have been interceptions. Leon Stewart with the fumble forced. His defensive tackle mate Alexander Williams with the recovery. Andy Gary was busy. Lots of kicks, lots of field goals. Casey Sellers had 1 punt, and he called 1 timeout. All right, now that the week is over, we'll go ahead and accept this trade. All right, we picked up a 4th rounder. Well, that game did not go the way we wanted it to go, but it was exciting nevertheless. So click like, subscribe, comment, and come back for more. Peace.